we do a full sound check and not one sound like that for the whole hour. All right. What do you think I should do, Josh, about the microphone?
I think it's good for right now.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. My name is Syntysche Groverland, and I'm the daughter of Jack and Norma, who usually lead this service. They're out of town right now. They're attending a documentary that my older brother is debuting at a film festival in LA today. So they're gone having a fun experience out there. So it's nice to be able to do this service. I haven't led this service in a long time. Back in the day, my mom and I had CDs called Why Angels Sing, and we sang together chants that have been at the bedside of people passing on for many, many years. Thousands of people have used them, and they've been at births. So I'm going to be singing 2 songs today of my mom and I's music without her, unfortunately. We'll have to do it here someday. But I felt called to go back to what we used to share in the service, which was not as much call and response singing. It was actually, we had the lyrics, and they're just really repeating songs to evoke the divine connection with Source, God, Spirit, whatever word makes you feel connected to this greater love, this greater joy, this greater peace. I wanted to speak just for a minute before we start singing. You know, they say to sing is to pray twice. So it's wonderful to be able to sit and bask in music, but when you participate in singing, our challenges and limitations of life leave us. We actually can't look into the concerns of our life when we're singing. Singing takes us out of that and moves us into the ethereal realm, into the soul level of ourselves. So I highly encourage you to sing with me when we do finally sing. But last week we had a guest speaker that filled in for the second service, which is the service I lead every week. And he did a talk titled, Where Love Goes, So Will I. And he said that joy is the gift of love, and grief is the price of love. He said to be human is to be capable of holding joy in one hand and grief in the other, and to know that they are all emergent from the same love. And I think those are really profound words to really take into heart right now with the state of what's going on in the world. And recognizing that there's a lot of feelings going on within every person I'm talking to right now. And this is a time to immerse ourselves in all of it, to come home to oneself and to not deny any of it, but to allow all of it. That's one of the beautiful things about meditation, is coming home. When we really can face oneself and one's own feelings, we're free. We feel freedom, even if we're sad, even if we're facing grief or even joy. It's the pushing back against the feelings that we feel and trying to deny them that creates that inner discord and turbulence that can find us profoundly affected and not in balance, and definitely not in a state of homeostasis. So I brought that up today because I'm in a stage right now. My youngest daughter is going to graduate this summer from high school. And my older son, he's about to launch. He's still home at 19. And there's just this constant sort of ache in my being of grief. You know, you spend your whole life raising your kids. I have a 28-year-old daughter too, so I've launched one before, but there's nobody else. They're all going, and that sense of loss and joy all wrapped up in that feeling is profound. To be with it. And I do find myself trying to avoid it. But every once in a while it sneaks up and it finds you. And I was thinking about it this morning because the song I'm going to be sharing with you, the first number that we're going to sing together, I remember I have this memory of my son Tyler when he was like 1 year old. I played our first album that we had for him, and it was Why Angels Sing. And he had learned how to climb out of his crib, and I had like a camera, one of those things you keep an eye on your children when they're sleeping. And this particular number, it's like 8 or 10 minutes long on the album. And when it would end, he'd be fast asleep. He would wake up and climb out and hit the button to go back to this song. So I knew there was something special about this song because it resonated in a baby's heart. You know, that child, unscathed perfection, was attracted to one of the songs on that album more than all of the others. So I've had that visual of him climbing out, going back and just going fast asleep, and waking up until eventually he wouldn't go do it. But it's a really sweet memory, just sweetness. And then there's the grief I feel when I think of that sweetness. Can any of you relate with that? Do we have mothers and fathers in this room? Yeah. It's a journey. They say to let to really help your children launch and fly in the world, and to let them go do that is the mother's crucifixion. And it truly is. It's a death of an old self of ours that we've identified as for so long. And now we also have to birth into something new as well, right? So I'm going to have them start the background check, and we'll have the lyrics up here. And you can join me, or you can just close your eyes and come into the presence. Just leave the world outside these doors and gift yourself this next 50 minutes. Where we're going to interact, and then we'll meditate. And I'm joined with Danny here, and he's going to play the rain stick for us. So my talk today is titled The Ancient Practice of Returning, the History and Heart of Meditation. Let me take a sip of water real quick. So I'm just going to invite everybody just to take a deep breath in. And now with a and again. And one more time. For thousands of years across cultures and continents, human beings have shared one sacred longing. The longing to remember who we truly are. Every great religion, every great mystic, every path back to God has discovered that silence is not empty, it's full of presence. It's the discovery in meditation. Meditation is one of humanity's oldest spiritual disciplines. Its roots stretch back more than 5,000 years, with references in ancient Hindu texts like the Vedas and Upanishads, where it was known as dhyana, the steadying of the mind of God. From there, meditation flowed into Buddhism, where the Buddha taught that awakening arises from mindfulness, watching the mind with compassion until it returns to stillness. In Taoism in China, meditation was a way of harmonizing with the flow of the Tao, the living essence of the universe. In Judaism, the early Kabbalists meditated on divine names and the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. The Kabbalists were Jewish mystics beginning as early as the 12th and 13th centuries. Though their roots reach much farther back, Kabbalah means to receive, referring to receiving divine wisdom directly from Spirit, rather than through intellectual study alone. I think New Thought and Unity really connects with that as well. These mystics believed that the Hebrew language was not just a set of symbols or words. It was a living, vibrational expression of God, and each letter of the Hebrew alphabet was understood to carry specific energy, frequency, and consciousness of the divine. I think that's very interesting. I'm going to repeat that. They believed that the symbols or words were a living, vibrational expression of God. Each letter of the Hebrew alphabet was understood to carry a specific energy, frequency, and consciousness of the divine. You know, we are in a time where we're questioning how we can find and discover more love and a healing frequency and wholeness within ourselves, and then to be able to bring that high, holy frequency out into this world. Because I think the only chance we have for restoring peace in the hearts and the minds of all people is to become that vibration. And when it's an energy, and it's in the letters, and it's in the sounds, it's our words that are so powerful. It's what we're saying to ourselves and what we're repeating to others. When we question, are these words healing and freeing myself? And does this remind me of my soul and heart connection with Source? Or am I talking about things that are adding to the discord of the illusion of the world? Am I partaking in being the problem instead of being quiet when I can't find the right words? And if we can't find the right words towards self either, it's really time to meditate and resolve and reconnect and feel that frequency of God, of love, of Spirit moving in and through every aspect of our life. The Kabbalists practiced meditation where they would silently focus on these letters in combinations of divine names, such as, I think it's Yahweh, but it's YHVH, which is really not, it's unpronounceable name of God, or they do Elohim, allowing the energy behind them to open their awareness to God's presence. It wasn't about thinking about God. It was about experiencing God directly through sacred vibration. They believed that through these meditations, the soul could experience devakat, a Hebrew word meaning cleaving or attachment to the universe, to God. So we can imagine like a small stone room lit only by the soft flicker of oil lamps. A scholar sits cross-legged on the floor, a shawl drapes loosely over his shoulders. In front of him lies a single parchment covered with Hebrew letters, flowing, intricate, almost alive. He closes his eyes, breathes deeply, and begins to silently repeat one of the sacred names of God. Perhaps it's Yod, He, Vahe, the four-letter name known as the Tetragrammaton. It doesn't speak it aloud because in Jewish mysticism, that name is considered too holy to utter. Instead, he visualizes each letter appearing in radiant light before his inner eye. And it looks like this. Mike, if I could get the slide. No. Do you not see the Jewish word for God? Okay. I did 2 sermons. I'm doing a sermon next, so it's completely different, so there's room for error here. I did put it on, it's probably on the next one, which will have nothing to do with the sermon that I'm giving next service. Gosh, I love it. Flow. It's a beautiful thing. So it's the word Yad, He, Vahe. Or it's actually Yod. Yod is actually pronounced Yod, He, Vav, He. Seeing them not as letters, but as vibrations of divine energy. So we might breathe in on Yad, feeling the spark of creation, and breathe out on He, feeling the bridge between heaven and earth. Breathing in He again, releasing into pure awareness. It's the same goal that Christian mystics might call union with the divine, or the Eastern traditions might call samadhi, a merging of consciousness, where the individual self dissolves into the infinite presence. Their practice was essentially a Jewish form of contemplative meditation, a merging of heart, sound, and sacred imagination in service of this divine connection. In New Thought language, or Unity language, we might say that the Kabbalists use the vibration of sacred words to tune their consciousness to the frequency of the infinite. That would be more our language. They understood that every sound of creation is God expressing. It's expressing itself, and through deep meditation we attune to that rhythm until we can feel ourselves a part of the allness, of the wholeness, of the depth of the substance that is available to be tapped into, to move in and through, and as us in action. Christian mystics from the Desert Fathers and Mothers to Meister Eckhart, Teresa of Avila, and the Quakers all spoke of praying without words. They called it contemplative prayer, resting in the heart of God. In Islam, the Sufi mystics developed Daktikar, the remembrance of God, repeating the divine names until the heart became still and luminous. And in indigenous traditions, meditation took the form of vision quests, sweat lodges, and silent communion with the natural world. All pathways into the sacred conversation between soul and spirit. No matter the form, every path points to the same truth. Meditation is not about escaping the world. It's about awakening to the presence that fills it. It's not about escaping the world. It's about awakening to the presence that fills it. We always use a term in Unity to be in the world but not of the world. It's a sort of practice to find the eye of the storm in the midst of the world. Obviously, we live in the human condition, but we're spiritual beings first. So the practice of meditation, or a prayer practice, or walking in nature and getting out of the words and seeing of the world, to connect with the resonance of the part of you that never dies. The frequency of that has been through many lifetimes, that can remember how you've overcome things from previous times, where you become the restored, most highest vibrational soul being that you were once and are and can be again in this moment. To connect with this soul source is the frequency that connects with this substance. And if we're watching the news too much right now, or on social media, and just even our emails are filled with what's going on, it's good to be tapped in and knowing. But I have a friend right now that just doesn't, she literally has CNN on in her house constantly. And this friend of mine has an illness that is not great to have, and is dealing with that. And she's not really on a spiritual path. But to be watching that frequency when the body's trying to find its balance to homeostasis again. We do strange things like that because we want to distract ourselves from feeling what is actually happening in oneself. And there's a lot of distraction where we can just look at what's happening to everybody else so we don't have to be with, to unite, to be check in, to be revealed unto oneself what is being called, needed, and necessary in any circumstance, situation. And we're all guilty of that. We all, some people run to shopping therapy, some people run to TV, some people run to drugs and alcohol. When we can sit in that uncomfortability of what this world is bringing up for each and every person right now, and we really dive into being with how we can get this higher frequency, even when this is all occurring. And you stay in the uncomfortableness instead of running from it and discovering more and more of this powerful light being that you are. And be able to carry that into our marriages, into our workplaces, working with our peers, with our children, with our parents. And being the holy instant, being the change we want to see. It's pretty hard to look at all those things in the world on TV if we're wanting to find peace that surpasses understanding. That's the call. That's the only way I can see that there's any divine order in all this chaos. Is the force is so strong and dense that it would have to occur to us to come back home to heart and soul, to love, to embracing the beauty and the joy and the grief and the sadness, to embrace the truth of what this whole human experience offers us, for calling us back to our higher state of consciousness. In Unity and New Thought, we understand that the purpose of meditation is not to reach God, but to realize God's presence already within us. Who feels God's presence within you every day? You can raise your hand, I can see you. Are we really not seeing any hands for real? Oh, I see some back there. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, that worried me. I'll just gonna throw in the towel and find a different career. Wow, has it gotten that hopeless? My heart just sank. That was really funny. Oh man, thank God that was not real. Okie dokie. We also have to laugh, because laughter is a cleanser. I laugh all the time when you just look at the rigmarole of the world. I'm not laughing at the really, really hard stuff, but there's just the insanity is wild. So it's the art of stilling the surface of the mind so that the Christ mind, divine intelligence, infinite love can be heard. It's the moment we move from personality to presence. It's the moment we move from personality to presence. Because personality is something we've formed. And a lot of personality has to do with masks and putting out a person that we've created. Presence or soul is light. It's soft. It's gentle towards self and other. It feels deeply. And anybody that's on the spiritual path are empathic. We wouldn't be called to this work if we weren't. And so when you really are empathic, this is even a heavier time for us, because we have to really differentiate what is our actual feelings around all this and what we're actually taking on from other individuals and the collective unconscious. So crystals are really good. I've had this crystal for, has to be 20 years. I don't ever speak without it, and I meditate with this every day. It's like going back home to Mother Earth's vibrational healer healing energy, right? My mom is Mohawk Indian, and so I was raised with that traditional indigenous upbringing. She homeschooled us so that we could have a sacred childhood that was based in meditation and walking in nature and being taught about all of the natural foods in the woods in this area. And wherever we were, she taught us how we could survive. Somehow we ended up alone in the woods. And I've forgotten about that part of my life because everything's so crazy right now. And I was thinking, God, what a special upbringing that was. Because I walk in nature every day with my dogs, and I look at the plants, and I'm constantly knowing what vitamins are in each one if I had been in a situation where I needed to survive out in the wilderness. I don't know why she thought we would have to live in this wilderness, but we know how to, so that's good. That's really the native way, is that you. The earth is our mother. And we learn how blessed we are for that heartbeat that restores balance. It restores life. And it holds the spaciousness of all the most beautiful things that the universe has provided for us to enjoy. So things like aromatherapy, like young living oils, that's something I use every day, all day, to help my frequency stay clear. I highly recommend the joy oil and the peace and calming oil. They both smell beautiful. And you put it in your nose, and it affects your third eye. It opens you up, and it gets you out of the denseness. Bach flower essences are powerful, like rescue remedy, to keep ourselves out of adrenaline, out of anxiety. If you could ask yourself this question, like, what would it be like to be able to walk through these times in total peace, even though? Like, can we find peace? This is the spiritual challenge. This is what I believe the universe is asking us to do. Can you find peace in the presence of this denseness? There's no higher order, no higher calling than to be a reflector, a mirror for others that can vibrationally remind them, oh yes, you've met a person that's a holy person. I'm sure everybody has. And in the presence of them, when they talk, you feel your entire nervous system recalibrate itself. Because the mirror is there. There is no personality. Their soul is awake and present. And it invites our soul to dance in this connection, that's why community is so important. To be around other spiritually seeking people that want to find balance, homeostasis, and really resolve any hiccups within self and forgive and let go of our limitations. So we may be the conduits of God's love in this world. So I'm going to play the singing bowls, and then I'm going to guide you into a meditation, and then we'll go into silence for 5 minutes. Or singing bowl, not singing bowls. I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes. Take a big deep breath in and out slowly, letting everything go. Feel the weight of your body supported by the earth beneath you. This is the ground that has held every seeker, every mystic, every generation that has ever turned inward to discover and find God. Let's breathe in again. And with each exhale, allow the outside world to grow softer, quieter, further away. You are not escaping life. You are entering it more fully. As you rest in the rhythm of your breath, remember that this moment connects you to thousands of years of seekers, from the sages of India to the desert mystics of early Christianity, from the quiet monks of Tibet to the poets of Sufi devotion, all discovering the same truth, that the presence they sought was never outside them. Let your awareness gently move to the space of your heart. Feel a quiet warmth begin to glow there, steady, peaceful, alive. This is the light of the Christ consciousness, or the Christ mind. The same consciousness that spoke through Jesus, Buddha, Rumi, and every awakened soul. It is the I am, the greatest word for God. I am. Now with your next breath, hear the inner whisper of love. Will you trust me, even here in the stillness, in the unknown? Let's breathe into that invitation. Let love think through you, breathe through you, live through you. Every inhale draws you closer to the divine. Every exhale releases the illusion of separation. And now we're going to rest here for around 5 minutes in the silence. slowly bring your awareness back to the room and bask in the peace that lingers, not as an experience that will pass, but as the truth of who you are. Let's take a final deep breath in and silently affirm, the stillness within me is the presence of God. I carry this peace into the world. And so it is. Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. And right now, in the month of October and November, we're really encouraging people that feel that the center is helping you in your life and you're feeling connected to it. We won the best place to worship in Boulder, Colorado, and we have this few people coming in here at the first service and maybe 70 people the second. It's not sustainable. We're operating in the world too here. So if you would be willing to become a tither, you can commit to being a recurring tither, where even if you're not here on a Sunday, you'd still be taking care of this center. It's really the only way we see that we can make, like when people watch us online that are in the community, that if they start doing that, we could bring the tithes to a place where we would be sustaining our operating expenses. So if you feel guided to do that, you can go to unityofboulder.com and hit support our mission. You could do a weekly donation or a monthly or a yearly. And that way we can actually budget due to knowing what is actually going to be there for us to budget with. It would make our life a little less stressful. So I thank you for taking that to heart. So let's take our offerings in our hands and bless it with this offering statement. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive because I give. And again, you can sing with me to this song.